If your first instinct when something breaks is to fix it yourself, you remember when MTV actually played music and you can parallel park without a backup camera. Congratulations. You're wired differently from almost everyone else. And honestly, so am I. Let me take you back to my childhood and explore why 70s and 80s kids are naturally more independent than just about any generation since. If you grew up in the 70s or 80s like I did, you lived through something that would probably be considered neglect today. I remember those summer mornings clearly. My parents would send me outside with one simple instruction: be home before dark. No cell phone. No way for them to reach me. I just disappeared into the neighborhood for hours on end. And here's what that did for my brain. It built genuine independence. I got lost more times than I can count. And you know what? I always found my way back. That's the surprising psychological benefit of be home before dark parenting. It taught us to trust ourselves. We learned that we could navigate the world without constant supervision, and that confidence never really left us. I got bored out of my mind some afternoons, with no phone, no streaming, just empty time stretching out before me. And you know what? That boredom built creativity, imagination, and resilience in ways I'm still grateful for. I built entire worlds out of sticks and cardboard boxes. I invented games with nothing but the pavement and my own mind. That boredom made me resourceful in a way no tutorial ever could, because when there's no one to entertain you, you learn to entertain yourself. And failure? Failure was just part of my daily routine. I fell off my bike. I got back on, scraped knees and all. I built something that collapsed. I figured out why and tried again. I got rejected. I moved on. There were no participation trophies waiting for me. And here's the thing. That's exactly why failure was normal and how it built mental toughness that stayed with me my entire life. I learned early that falling down wasn't the problem, staying down was. By the time I was 10, I was basically a small adult. I watched my younger siblings. I made simple meals. I fixed my own bike chain with whatever tools I could find in the garage. I learned early that life doesn't pause just because you're not ready for it. And that's why people raised in this era often handle adversity better today. We've been practicing resilience since before we hit double digits. My parents lived through World War II or grew up right after it. They weren't the type to talk about feelings. They were survivors, people who faced hardship without complaining. They didn't give me pep talks. They gave me responsibility. And looking back, I realized that's exactly how their childhood created lifelong emotional strength, patience, and perspective in me. I learned that effort mattered more than comfort, and that some of life's hardest lessons come wrapped in silence. This is why people notice that calmness in me, that ability to stay steady when everything's falling apart. It's not magic. It's muscle memory. I've been through worse without Googling the answer, without a therapist on speed dial, without a safe space to retreat to. I just had to figure it out. But here's what really makes my generation unique. We're the bridge between the analog past and digital present. I grew up with rotary phones and handwritten letters. I remember waiting weeks for a reply, but I also adapted to smartphones and the internet. I remember life without technology, yet I'm not afraid of it. I exist comfortably in both worlds, and that's given me something rare: perspective. I know what life looks like without constant connectivity. I remember conversations that didn't involve checking a phone. I know the value of patience because I lived in a world that forced me to wait. For film to develop, for records to play, for my turn on the family's one phone line. That's not nostalgia talking. That's wisdom earned through experience. So the next time someone asks me how I stay so calm under pressure, I'll tell them the truth. My childhood wasn't easier. It was just honest. Life didn't come with training wheels, and honestly, that made all the difference. It made us independent, creative, mentally tough, and uniquely equipped to navigate both the world we came from and the world we live in now. Does this match your experience? Drop your story in the comments. And if this took you back, subscribe. If you want your current daily habits explained, simply click one of these. I'll see you there.